Hi, it's Bill and welcome. And on this video, I'll show you how to create and modify a dashboard in ServiceNow. One of the most misunderstood parts of the ServiceNow platform is dashboards. And most people know how to add the widget, but far fewer understand why dashboards behave the way they do, or why some dashboards become essential daily tools while others are quietly ignored. So I created this video for ServiceNow administrators, developers, and architects who would like to understand the basics of reporting and start designing dashboards that actually support decisions, operations, and accountability. So by the end of this video, you'll understand how to properly create and modify dashboards in ServiceNow, how widgets and filters really work behind the scenes, and how to design dashboards that make sense in real implementations, not just in demos. And if you find this useful, consider subscribing and joining the channel for more long-form ServiceNow deep dives. And what you're seeing now is a personal developer environment. And if you have not created one yet, I'd like you to follow how to set up a PDI that you'll find at the end of the screen. And conceptually, I'd like you to fully understand how dashboards is basically created by the product owners. So you'll have a platform level dashboard. So you have two layers in dashboard. So my pen is not writing as expected. So you have platform level dashboard and you have workflow level. So meaning you have the likes of ITSM, ITOM, GRC, or depending on what product you have. So what we're trying to say is like you have base level, which is platform level, which is providing you the reports and dashboards needed, which is the backbone, which is your table or your data or your database views. And at the same time, you have your workflows. But the end of this all is basically you can create a dashboard both on the platform level, also in a workflow level. Now, to be able to fully grasp on where you're building, it's either in the platform or in a workflow level or product level, you need to basically look at the scopes. So let us drill down. On this example, we are inside the global. So this question is like, where is basically global seated? And as we basically go to the global, you will see that these application scopes, which are just folders in layman's term, where they are basically organized, and you have the different files inside the folders for separation of concerns. And to verify where you're at, let us drill down to one of the out-of-the-box dashboards. So you get to understand where to create and also where to publish your board and your reports. So let us drill down. So this AI Ops, let's clear my screen for better visibility and let's wait for it to load. And now let us go to the top right and edit this dashboard. And you will see that the platform is now already complaining that we are under the global scope. But what we're looking at is the dashboard should be in the AI Ops dashboard application. So let's move to that folder. So basically that answers our question. So at what level? So we are basically on the AI Ops dashboard. So meaning we are at the workflow level. So from there, we can now drill down to the workflow level. And as we basically already on the editing mode, so let's exit and do an edit again. And you can see that the top right, it turns into a red mode. So it means that update sets is now capturing your configuration changes. And now to prove the theory, let us now remove the report or the widget inside the dashboard. And as we delete, and let us basically save. And now we have basically modified one dashboard by removing one report. And let us now exit. And you can see successfully we have modified and removed one widget inside the report. And as we have now made some changes, and let's do another for our example. So let us do a removal again and delete, and let us now save our changes. And as we save it, let's go back and exit the editing mode. And now it's basically captured within the application scope. Now, as you buy a base dashboard and report, and this is something I do not recommend because you are modifying applications, which is basically out of the box. And as a practice, I like you to firm up your implementation by keeping what has been provided by ServiceNow and using it as a template. So the way I will approach it is gonna create a duplicate. And from there, as you create a duplicate, the main approach here is like, and what you will learn is you can destroy the report or the dashboard and be able to come back to the original form. And as you grow your skill set in creating dashboards and become an expert, you leave your template behind as your master copy, since the dashboard that ServiceNow has provided is already based on experience and best practices. So this type of approach and distinction is critical because as you edit the dashboard, it affects everyone. And if you personalize something, it only affects you. So as an administrator architect, personalizing your dashboard in your industry standards is where you test the requirement in your ideas and not impact what's already out of the box. Because once you delete them, it is something, an art which will be lost and you cannot come back to. So this simple discipline prevents a lot of confusion and frustration in large teams. And if this is helping you understand how dashboards really work, make sure you subscribe and members of the channel gets access to deeper architectural discussions like this. And my quick question to you, when was the last time a dashboard in your instance actually changed a decision? Since ServiceNow dashboards is quite experienced, I fully recommend keeping them and adding more functionality on top of what's out of the box. Now, as we go back to the dashboard library, the way I'll approach it in creating dashboards is knowing who are your clients who will be utilizing your dashboards. So eventually I have AI Ops installed in my developer environment. As you install these templates and by capturing it using update set, you can transfer the dashboard and report from your PDI to your company's developer environment or sandbox. And before doing that, I will start making or creating a duplicate. And as you create a duplicate, you have created an advanced dashboard already. And from there, you can remove a report, add the report as expected be by going to edit mode and adding new elements. And as you add elements, you're adding reports inside your dashboard. And as you finalize, then you have an experienced dashboard. And in your side, you're also going to be looked at as an experienced dashboard and report developer. So if you need like a detailed step-by-step on how to create and modify dashboards in ServiceNow, I have created a full lesson that you'll find at the end of the screen. So this sneak peek gives you a firm foundation on what strategies that you need to do and implement and how to modify and create a dashboard inside. And if you find value on this video, consider joining as a member to further support free videos like this. So creating and modifying dashboards in ServiceNow is not about the skills of dragging and dropping. It's about translating platform data into insight where people trust and act on. And when you start on experienced dashboards like this, it will look designed well and become the heartbeat of operations. And how are you designing your dashboards used in your instance today? Are they driving action or simply displaying information? Thanks for watching.